to this happy place, welcome.
Hey guys, it's Tim.
It's Tim.
You know, you've done this bit before.
I know, but it's been a while.
I know. Welcome to another episode of the Dreaming of Disney podcast, episode 102.
Ooh.
And I'm with my beautiful wife, Audrey-Ann.
Hello. I've already said hello.
You did.
I'm Tim.
But now I've introduced you, so now you can speak.
Thank you.
And now I'm sleeping on the couch tonight.
You are? No. Hi.
Hey.
You've been gone for so long.
I know.
You actually were gone for a while.
Hey, this is 2 episodes in a row.
What?
One, just how we used to do it, you know,
Just
for the
first
year and a half.
There was the exception, but yeah, for the most, we were way more consistent than we have been this year. But that's just because we had 2 recaps in a row, so we have something to talk about.
I know. Yeah, I was. You got back from your trip, your mom trip.
Oh, it was amazing.
and then right after that, you got home Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, I had to leave for Southern California.
Sorry.
What?
Our really fat cat is attacking his tail, and it's funny because he can barely reach it because he's so fat.
He is really fat. Frankie's really fat. But yeah, so I left for Southern California like the next day, and I was gone for 5 days.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Tuesday through Saturday. Drove back Saturday. But in between my 2 work assignments that I had down there was first off in San Diego and then in LA. San Diego, so I went San Diego first, so all the way down south. But between San Diego and LA, there's a little place called Anaheim. And I thought, you know what? On my drive up to LA.
Don't act like you thought of this on, like, you know.
No, it was totally planned.
It was
I had to
totally
get a reservation. And all that stuff.
planned because you told me before I left, I think I might stop by, you know, when I'm down there. So that's how I knew to leave you a note.
Well, I know.
But you're talking like, and then I just thought, I'm just like.
When I was planning this work trip, I was like, I think it'll be fun just to pop in.
You know what I saw?
What did you see?
This is totally off subject. I saw a headline that said couples that make fun of each other
I saw this too.
are like way more likely to divorce. No, it was like
To have a happier
marriage or happier life. And I was like, that's why I would do it.
Yeah.
That's why I make
But
fun of you.
the key is to do it in
Be
a way.
quiet. You don't even know what you're talking about.
No, but I read the actual article.
Oh, I thought you were going to tease me.
No.
I didn't read the article. I just read the headline.
It obviously meant there was like a caveat was like, you don't make fun of.
Right, you're not making fun of.
You're not making fun of. You're joking with each other. You're
Yes.
teasing each other in a loving way. You're not making fun of your wife or husband in front of other people.
Right. You're like, you're laughing at each other with each other.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a caveat there. So don't just start making fun of your husband or wife in front of your friends.
Look how dumb you look. Are we happy now?
So
anyways,
there's a disclaimer on that, just so you know.
We're going to turn this into a marriage podcast.
Hey, maybe we should. No, we're not going to do that. Frankie.
What? Why are you so mean to him?
I'm not going to. I just don't want him to sit on our podcasting stuff and smother it and break it.
Frankie, come here. Come here.
So, but anyways, I went to Disneyland for half a day.
What?
Yeah. So San Diego to Anaheim is like an hour and 20 minutes. He is sitting on it. He's sitting on our podcasting stuff.
Should take a picture of him. Take a picture of his
Okay,
pet.
take a picture. So, and we'll share this.
Just make sure I'm not in it. In the background. You can't even see it because he's so big. This is a great
so,
cat.
Okay, well, I actually have to get him off.
Come on. Oh.
He just rolled over.
You had to roll him.
Roly-poly. So, yeah, it's like an hour and 20 minutes from San Diego to Anaheim. So I left. I purposely woke up early to leave for Disneyland.
Yeah, I thought you were going to leave earlier than you actually did.
I know I did. And then I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've been going to bed late the whole time. But I got to Anaheim. I think I got to the parking lot like at 8 o'clock, and the park opened at 8 that day. But I decided to do something different.
Oh. And we have not talked at all about your day.
So what we've been doing.
Oh, I know what you did.
We
know
usually
why?
go, why?
Because I tracked you.
Oh, of course you did.
And I was like, where? Because I was just wondering, okay, he hasn't told me he made it yet, and I want to make sure you're safe. And I looked and I was like, where is he? And then I was like, oh. So I think I know it.
So we usually either when we're we usually, stay at like one of the Disney hotels or a Good Neighbor hotel, and we park there. Or if we're just going there, then we go to the parking structure, the Mickey and Friends. Yeah. And the parking structure is very popular. There's lots of people, long security lines. Even though they have a lot of lines, it still can back up. And then you get on the tram, and there's another line. Yeah, and then it drops you off a little bit into downtown Disney. You got to walk. No, it's not that far of a walk.
It's not that far of a walk.
But I've heard about, and we've done it. It was a long time ago that we did this.
Like Jack. Like maybe just Jack. Maybe we had Noah. But he was a baby.
But I parked at the Toy Story lot, which is off of Harbor, and you take a shuttle to the on the other side of downtown Disney, the Good Neighbor Hotel side. But what's different about this is from the time that we went, you do security first before you get onto the shuttle.
That's right. They changed it.
So when I park they drop you off still there, but there's a separate lane to where you don't go. You bypass security when you go. Because I was like, they drop
you. You get dropped off before security, but you get to go.
You go through a different. They drop you off, and you're all the way to the right of the security.
Okay.
On what is that? Is that Harbor? Harbor side? That's the street. Right on that side.
Yeah,
right?
I mean that's not the street that the shuttles and the buses turn into. That's like Magic Way.
Yeah, but that street that goes parallel to Disney is on Harbor
Harbor Boulevard. Yeah,
on the Good Neighbor side. So I was like, I'm just gonna give that. First, I was gonna go to the parking structure, but I was like, I'm gonna do it different since I don't have anybody and got some time to experiment. Did I? I can't remember if I. No, I didn't. I didn't time it. But I got there around 8. No line getting into the parking lot because you can go to the parking structure. The lines in the car,
especially around that time.
Yeah, it really backs up, and then you have to go all winding through the parking structure and find your spot, and then you got to go to the elevator or the escalator. And then all that. Whereas this is a parking structure. It's just a lot. And you park. There was nobody in front of me. I just parked. And then they have some lines for security. There was no line. I walked right through. I didn't have any bags in me, so I didn't have to do any bag checks. And then you get on the shuttle. And I think I was at the park within 10 minutes. From the time I parked to the time I got on the shuttle, because the shuttles have their own roads that they take. They don't go on. There's a little bit of the public streets that they go on with other cars, but then they have their own lanes to where they can go straight to where they drop you off.
Oh, okay.
And then you get off the bus, and then you bypass security and you walk right in to the Esplanade. So I would recommend it. I mean, if you have strollers, well, I guess if you have to take the tram, you have to collapse your stroller anyway.
Yeah.
So,
well, especially if you're staying at a good neighbor hotel on that side. If you're staying on Harbor Boulevard or Catella, like in Harbor,
oh yeah,
then that's closer. So at, say you get there in the morning and you go to park before you go to your hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, you don't park at the hotel. Sometimes it's a little farther. You don't want to or whatever. Because we did that when we took all the boys. Why didn't? And then later we're like, we should have just parked at the hotel because we thought the hotel was farther.
Yeah, I forget. Oh, because, well, yeah, we didn't stay. We stayed at the Hyatt.
Yeah.
And we thought it'd just be easier just to park at the park. And we didn't have to because we were going to be there all day and we left early.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be easier just to drive there instead of having to walk all the way back to the hotel at the end of the night.
But that the Toy Story parking lot would have been better in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was super easy. There was maybe 4 or 5 other people on the bus with me. And so I think the next time that we go and we're in a situation like that where we need a park, I say go to Toy Story instead of the Mickey and Friends. So
okay.
I thought it was good. I think it was a good little hack, little tip.
Little tippy tip.
Park at a Toy Story lot. There's a lot less people. So I got into the park, I think it was like 8:15, 8:20. And I didn't really have I didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm just going to go in there till about lunch and then I need to head up. So I was like, you know what? It's not foggy because it's usually foggy in the morning.
Yeah, it was when I was there. Yeah.
And it was sunny. It's like, the sun got some nice lighting. I'm going to shoot some content. And I spent like the first 45 minutes just going around, getting video, taking pictures. Didn't seem too busy that morning. And I wanted to ride Space Mountain.
Spice Mountain? I like Spice Mountain.
Spice Mountain. But it was down. And so I was like, there's nothing really else that I really want to do right away. Indiana Jones was down. Big Thunder, I think, was like 25 minutes. Mickey and Minnie's was only 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
But I didn't feel like walking all the way up there.
That was like over an hour the entire time I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
Wow.
I didn't even go that way because every time I'd look at it, it was yeah.
Smugglers was, I think it was 15 minutes. Rise was an hour, which is about usual. But everything else is I don't really feel like really doing anything. So I took some pictures and videos and kind of walked around a little bit. And so after about 45 minutes, I was like, I'm just going to go over to Space Mountain. It still says it's down. But
if it's been down a little while.
Yeah.
And I just want to hang out.
So that's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, I'm going to just go over there and just kind of hang out and see what happens. So I go over there and I start walking up the hill up to Space Mountain.
Oh, you weren't going to do single rider?
No, because it was down.
It was down. I still
So I wanted to see if it was open. And there was a group, it was 2 people in front of me. And the cast member waved them through. They're like, come on up. I was like, I wonder if it's opening. And as soon as I walk up, if the numbers turn on, 15 minutes. It went from nothing to 15 minutes.
They just know.
they just turned it on. And I was like, oh, nice. So I'm just going to go. So I walked right on. And that was at 8:50 in the morning. I was in my seat on the car at 8:57. I did not stop walking. It was a walk-on. I just walked all the way through the line.
So that tells you how long it takes to walk through there, though.
It took about 7 minutes to walk through, and I was probably the second person on. So, yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Were you in the front row, though? Or one of?
Was I? I was on the front row. I was in the front car. I was in the second row. I was in number 2. The person that was in front of me was in number 1. So I was in the first car. So it wasn't too bad.
No, that one's not. That one's not at that one. Like, it's definitely better in the back, but it's not as big of a difference as Big Thunder, I don't think.
Yeah. So I did Space Mountain. After that, I got off, and Indy was still down. At that time, I think Smugglers was like 45 minutes.
They have a single rider, though.
Yeah, they do. But I wasn't really interested in doing that.
Yeah.
And so
I feel like I thought like a group of 5, and then you're like, I'll join your group.
That's another thing with that, right? It's like
also like Grizzly River Run, where you're like,
you're just kind of joining a group of people that are like really close, and you're just kind of like, oh, I'll jump in with these guys. And so I was just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. I know you had left me a note, so I knew I wanted to do that. I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do for lunch, and I was kind of going back and forth between, do I want to go to Ronto Roasters and get a Ronto Roaster and a black calf, or did I want to park hop at 11 and go to Pim's Kitchen, because I've been wanting to. Is that what I said?
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what you wanted. I'm saying park hop.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
And go to Pim's Kitchen, because I haven't been there in a while. And last time
you
I went
had
there
talked
was really
about
good.
it. You had said you wanted to try.
So I was kind of figuring it out, and at the same time, I was like, I also want a churro. I want to get a churro while I'm there. So all this stuff's going through my head and trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Mickey and Minnie's was only 10 minutes.
Nice.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to walk up there. I'm going to go do Mickey and
You
Minnie's.
did Mickey and Minnie's?
I did. That was at 9:10. It was 10 minutes. Said it was 10 minutes. It was a little bit longer.
Oh.
So
I vote. That one's usually shorter.
So at 9:10, I was in the train car at 9:27. So they probably count the 10 minutes, like the wait time, to the first, like the pre-show where you're watching the cartoon. So I would say that was probably about 10 minutes. Because once I walked in and I thought, oh, this is going to be a walk-on. But once I got up to the concession stand, it backed up right there. Because they had closed all the lines, so like we were going through Masker Size and all that stuff. I walked right past all that. They didn't have that open. So did Mickey and Minnie's. It was fun. So that was that. And so after that, I was like, okay, I think I was texting you, and you said that you're at Costco at the time.
I was at Costco.
Having very similar experiences. I was at Disneyland. You're at Costco. Both spending lots of money.
Just as fun. You know, it was a thrill.
And so you're like, hold on, I'm still at Costco. I'm checking out. I'll let you know when I'm ready. And
yeah, but then I thought maybe you would like go live right then. I was like in line.
Oh yeah.
But then you waited, and then you text me, I'm live now, as I was pulling up to the house. But then like the stuff had been sitting in the car, so I like needed to get like.
Well, I was live for a little bit, and I remembered because I was waiting for you to join. I was probably live for like 5 minutes.
Well, I got on, and then I think it's because I was pulling up to the house.
But I remembered you turn off all your notifications on your phone. Like you don't have Instagram notifications.
I have most notifications for apps turned off. Yes.
And so then I remember, like, oh, she's not going to know when I'm live.
Yeah.
Because I know when you're live because I get the push alert.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I text you. I was like, oh, I'm live now. So I got making minis. I got a churro in front of the castle. Took a couple more pictures and videos. At that time, it was starting to get busier. There was a lot more people. It was getting warmer. I think it was going to be like the high 80s that day. And so I got a churro, and I went live in front of the castle, the partner statue. And then I walked over to Frontierland, where you left the note.
Because I had sent you pictures of me. I took pictures when I was there of like my view.
Yeah.
To give you a hint.
Yeah. You were in front of the Golden Corral. And behind you was like the Coco like display where they had the
little Coco stage.
Yeah, a little meet and greet.
Yeah.
And so I was looking, I was like, oh, did she like put it under a rock or something? But you had stuffed it in like the little in the fence, like the wooden fence where they have like the leather binding. And you had like stuffed it in there. I was like, wow, no one took it.
I know.
Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, there's something there.
Unless someone saw it and put it back. Because it looked a little more.
Don't be reading my note.
It looked a little more obvious. Did you notice that I scratched out my name?
No, I didn't.
What? Because I signed my name and then I was like, wait, I don't want to leave my name. So
because people were like, ooh, Audrey-Ann, I know exactly who that is.
What if they look at my past and then they kick me out forever because I littered? So they don't let me come back. So I scribbled it out. You don't have it? Did you not keep it?
No, I have it. It's in my bag.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
like
we
a
did
long 3-page letter. No, it wasn't.
No, it was pretty.
It was like
pretty
2
small.
sentences.
It was good. It was sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So while I was live, I walked down Bayou Country.
You didn't get any fights.
No,
in the live.
I didn't get any fights. Nothing exciting like you. But I forgot to mention. Well, after Space Mountain, I sent you a video of this. They have the Halloween popcorn buckets.
Oh,
now.
yes.
And there was a line at the Tomorrowland popcorn stand, which is outside like the little pin trader shop that they have like right in the middle.
Yeah.
The line from there wrapped all the way around past Autopia and into Galactic Grill. So almost it was past Finding Nemo.
Wait, you said the popcorn stand right across from Star Trader.
Yes. And the line was all the way down past Nemo submarines into Galactic Grill. Like almost to Matterhorn.
What was the bucket?
It was it's Nightmare Before Christmas.
I was going to say, was it Nightmare Before Christmas?
I'm not familiar with the movie. But it's called Scary Teddy. I guess it's one of their
Okay, I've never seen it. But
characters.
It's the same thing. I remember before we went to Disney World when we were starting to look up more information about Disney World. So we started following some Disney World. I should say, because we didn't have our account yet. I started following some Disney World accounts on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It was an Epcot, and it was an insane long line. I mean, it took the guy like 10 minutes to walk past this line for a popcorn bucket. And I was like, what in the world? What? And I remember asking you, like, what is it? And it was, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The weird dragon.
Figment.
Figment. Thank you.
Figment.
It was a Figment popcorn bucket.
Figment is a big deal for
Disney Worlders. And we were like, what in the world is this? Like, yeah. So that just made me think.
So, and that there was another line. This was later in the day. Oh, it was in California Adventure. it was the same thing.
Same bucket.
Same bucket. And it was, it was the popcorn stand. I think it was near Soren.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same thing. They had taped the line into the concrete. So they had like the line, and it was like switching back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Like, I want to know with these popcorn buckets, like, I've never gotten one of the special ones. We got one popcorn bucket once, and then I regretted it because I was like, this isn't refillable. Like, you don't get a disc. I think in Disney World you do, don't you?
Disney World you do.
But in Disneyland you don't get like a discount or anything on a refill with the bucket. So I was like, why in the heck did I just buy this popcorn bucket?
Well, it's funny you bring that up because on fast forwarding to, on my shuttle ride back to my car, there was 2 other women in this big, huge shuttle with me, and they were talking. She came to the park specifically to get the popcorn bucket that day, and they were asking, so do you actually use it at home?
Yes,
like, she's like, no, I don't use it. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I have a closet full of these things, and
so it's a closet. Yeah. It's not even like you have a Disney room and they're like up on a shelf.
Yeah. And she's like, it's like, I might use it for like my Halloween decorations, but I don't know. I have, and the other one was like, yeah, I have a, a Halloween one that I sometimes put out, but I just, I get them because they're fun. So
it's
like Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
It's like Beanie Babies. People bought these things thinking that they're going to be worth something someday.
They told us they would be.
And they go crazy over them. And Disney's probably be like, joke's on you guys.
Right? Like, it's just people making a big deal about them. It's like, what is it called?
Social media.
It's social media. But what is it called when, like panic, oh my gosh, like at the beginning of the pandemic when it was
panic
like
shopping.
Yeah, but there was a name. There's a name. Like it was
I
like,
forget, but
you're all buying eggs. Okay, I need to go buy some eggs.
Yeah,
like
the toilet paper. Everybody's buying toilet paper, so we need to go get toilet paper.
Total side note, like completely side note. But speaking of toilet paper in the pandemic, I realized that I have like, how like our parents or grandparents, you'd be like, why do you like water down your milk or whatever? And you're like, oh, their parents grew up during the Depression and they needed to make the milk or whatever it is. Okay. That's probably a really bad example, but you know what I mean? Like these generational things. I realize I think I'm going to be like that with toilet paper because I lived through COVID, because like Georgia I'm like, do not waste toilet paper. She's like rolling the toilet paper and I'm like, we don't waste toilet paper. And I did not used to be like this.
We're going to unply it.
I didn't, but I did not, not like I ever liked to waste things, but like I did not have this fear before. But now I'm like, no, that's too much. Like, no, put it back. Or she's like, get some toilet paper, but then she like throws it on the ground. Yeah. And I'm like, what? No, like we don't
waste toilet paper.
Do you know how precious this stuff is? Like
there was a time
where you couldn't
get toilet paper.
And I realized I was like, oh, this is going to be like a generational thing where we're like, there was that time where toilet paper was scarce.
Eggs was scarce.
And you feared, you're like, what are we going to use?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Crazy time. Crazy time.
But anyways, so yeah, but it's that same like, oh, everyone wants this. Oh, I want it too. Yeah. And you're like, do you?
I do have one.
What is that called?
Collector's edition popcorn bucket. I had a coworker who was in downtown, was in Disneyland that one weekend. And I was like, hey, if you're there, can you get this for me? Because it was a Star Wars AT-AT popcorn bucket, fully posable AT-AT. It's the big walker, machine things. If you're not familiar with Star Wars, and it's funny because like you can't put popcorn in these things. So it's like it's like they have an opening to where you put the paper popcorn bucket into it. So like holds the popcorn bucket for you. So it's not itself a popcorn bucket.
Wow. Okay.
So
there was only one that I ever really wanted, and it was right after they reopened. It was Figment. It was right after they reopened. It was a Cinderella's carriage.
Oh yeah,
and
I
it was
remember that.
pink. It was really pretty. And I remember being like, "Oh my gosh, I want that." But that was it. And then I was like, "If we went, but we weren't going because
No,
they had just reopened it, and it was like the Georgia was just born." And
yeah,
yeah, but but people don't get why we go all the time. So to each their own.
So that was
go get your bucket.
Yeah, enjoy it. So after I did it live, I walked down Bayou Country now, as it's called, not Critter Country. I wanted to see the progress on Tiana's. And
Yeah, it's only like a month away.
I know, November 15th.
I'm excited, actually, you guys. Can you believe it? I'm actually kind of excited.
And a lot of progress. It looks great. They were running the ride.
Yeah, you showed that, which was interesting because there wasn't any water.
There wasn't any water coming down, so they must not be running the water down the thing. So, because they can control the splash.
Right.
So they probably have that turned off, so they just have the ride running.
Yeah.
And so there's still water.
You mean you're
at the
not
bottom.
really just going on water?
And you could hear the music. So they had it, going, but they still had a lot of the walls and everything. So you couldn't really see anything.
The restaurant's open though, isn't it? Because I could do a
The restaurant's been open for a while.
I didn't get anything there, but I remember seeing it.
So I walked down there, and then after that, got done with the live. We said bye. I wanted to go ride Indy, but Indiana Jones was still down. And that was a little after 10 in the morning. And I posted a story. I was like, I put a question on there. It's like, how long do you think I'm going to wait here until Indiana Jones opened? And you said,
well, no. You said like how long until it reopens?
How long?
I said 30 minutes, but then down again in an hour.
Yeah. So I waited there less than 5 minutes. And they were like, come on in.
Oh, nice.
I was the second person on. and the cast member walks you through the line all the way. That is the longest.
Oh my gosh. It is the longest.
And
sometimes I just don't want to go on it because I don't want to walk through.
I was from 10:08. I was on the car at 10:15 on the first car, and everything worked. Everything worked perfectly.
Nice.
It was great. I think it's the first time I've ridden it. Everything just worked right. And
then it went down again.
It probably went down a little bit later, but by the time I got out, I think it said 30 minutes was on there. So at that time, it was probably like 10:30. So I went over to Star Trader. I just kind of looked to see if they had anything new. It's all kind of the same stuff. There's really nothing new over there. And I didn't go into Galaxy's Edge or anything for anything Star Wars. And so I just kind of took my time, and then I walked and I decided at that point that I'm going to have lunch, California Adventure. And go to Pim's test kitchen. So I left Disneyland. I think I got to the gates at California Adventure at like 10:45. And so I can't go in until 11 because I'm park hopping.
Right.
So I have to wait. So I just kind of found a shady spot, sat down for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, all these people started lining up. The line got super long.
Oh, because it's 11.
So everybody starts lining up to park hop. And so the line, I think it was probably like 10:55. The line probably got halfway back to the Esplanade. So like, okay, I guess I'm going to get in line now. And it was hot. It was like almost 90 degrees, full sun.
Ugh.
And I was wearing like a black shirt, and I was like, this is really hot. I almost wore pants that day. but I decided just to wear my.
I know. I was like, that was a long pause. I almost wore pants that day, but I decided I'm gonna go naked.
No, but
be like that guy in Small World.
I wore shorts, which was a good choice. And so, but I mean, the line went pretty quick because everybody is park hopping, so they don't have to take your picture or anything.
Right,
they
right.
scan your thing and then you go in. I was in within a few minutes, so it's not a big deal. So I made mobile order for Pim's Test Kitchen.
What'd you get?
I got the chicken sandwich, like the big one.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The tater tots there are so. I'm not a big fan of tater tots,
What?
but because like
Put some in your pocket.
Because you have to have the right, like they need to be crispy.
Well, yeah. Who wants a soggy?
No one wants soggy tots. All right. No one likes soggy tots. But something like I think of like, elementary school.
Who wants a soggy tot?
I think of elementary school and you had these tater tots.
Are you just confusing your life with Napoleon Dynamites? I don't remember ever having tater tots at school.
Well, it's just like
you grew up in a different state than me, though.
I grew up in different places than you. But like they didn't taste good. They were just like, they taste like they were microwaves.
What from a school lunch tastes good?
And school lunch now is like
lunch now is like,
especially in California because they have like standards. But yeah, but the tater tots.
I want to talk more about these tots.
The tater tots are really good.
Yeah, they are. They actually are. They are.
At Pim's Test Kitchen, they're like really good.
They are really good. Like I remember the first time we had them, and we were like, "What is this? This is good."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got I forgot what it's called. The chicken sandwich that's like really big, but you have like the small buns, but the big chicken patty. So it looks like it's like, because the whole thing about that place is about, having like big food because like Ant-Man, and he gets really big. You need to get your head out of the gutter over there.
It's just a conversation.
Small buns, soggy tots.
You need to edit this out.
No, I'm not. I'm moving this in.
Someone's gonna get mad at us.
No one's gonna get mad at us.
Okay, I'm gonna look up the name of the sandwich.
But one thing I would say was disappointed the last time I got it, which was a couple years ago.
It was not a couple.
Was it?
Oh,
I think it was.
Probably.
The one I got today was smaller.
Today? You got it today?
Well, this trip.
Okay, hang on. Hold the phone. A blueberry matcha iced latte. I did not see that. So, not so little chicken sandwich?
Not so little chicken sandwich.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a sandwich that's like not little. Excuse me, snurdles. Pasta.
Yeah, and they had a pasta, and the pasta
Tomato
looked
cream sauce, chimichurri. I don't know what that is. You guys.
chimichurri.
What is that?
It's like a spice.
Oh.
But yeah, I saw that the pasta. I was like, "Ooh, that sounds good too."
Garlic pesto toasted sourdough with mozzarella, basil, and tomato.
But I
yes,
got
please.
the chicken sandwich without the slaw. I don't like slaw, but it has like this sauce that they put on it, like it's red pepper sauce and teriyaki sauce.
Oh,
it's really good. And
it is. I do like Pim's Kitchen. I've got breakfast there, and it was good.
And they are, I think it's the only. No, it's one of two places that they have the freestyle Coke machines.
Yes, I mean I was there for breakfast, so I didn't get it, but yeah.
And so, because I thought I was like, oh, maybe I should get like an adult beverage, but I was like, it's like 11
adult
o'clock.
Beverage.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
I was like, that's a little, if it was lunch, if it was like noon, like afternoon, I'll be like, okay, I'll maybe do it. But
Well, you were also. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I wasn't working, but I was going to be working that afternoon. And so I was like,
You're driving.
And I'm driving. I was like, I probably shouldn't. So I didn't. So I just got a Coke. But they had like all the flavors and everything. So that was good.
Let me guess, you did cherry
I got cherry Coke.
and vanilla.
No, just cherry Coke. That was for my first. And then my refill was, they don't have Dr. Pepper. They have Mr. Pibb. I got Mr. Pibb with cherry, which is also really good. So after that, it was about 11:30, and Credit Coaster had been down all day, and so I only really wanted to do rides that like I didn't have to wait very long.
Yeah,
it was
I
gonna
know, I
do
felt that
Genie
way too,
Plus,
yeah.
and so it was like if they have a single rider, I'll do a single rider, or if it's short line, then I'll do that. And so
Space Mountain is 55 minutes right now.
Oof. On what time is it?
9:10.
Oof. It was busy. By 11 o'clock, it was really busy. There was a lot of people. And so, Credit Coaster had been down all day. And so I was like, Space Mountain was down. Indiana Jones was down. It's like, I'm just going to go over there.
Just gonna try it.
And
You've had good timing today. I'm going to.
Yeah. So by the time I was done eating, it opened up while I was eating. And by the time I got down there, it was already at 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And this was at 11:40. And the single rider was open. They didn't turn the sign around. So it looked like the single rider was closed. But there was one person that walked in front of me, and there was a cast member there. They're holding out the little single rider cards.
Oh, so you didn't have to wait out on like the boardwalk part?
No. I was able to walk right in.
Oh, wow.
And then I walked down, and the group in front of me was getting into the elevator. And then they waved me in. I was like, so I went
nice.
right into the elevator. And I was on the ride in 10 minutes at 11:50.
Wow.
And the wait time was 45 minutes.
You just never know, because I go when the wait was like 30 minutes and I waited like 25.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know if that was this time or the time I went with my sister, but like, so sometimes it's just like, you're not really sure.
Yeah.
But I waited out on the boardwalk part.
Yeah. So
once you're in.
And it had been down all day, and they were only running one side. So the other side wasn't running. So it was a lot longer. It was taking longer. Yeah.
So good.
I was in the front row.
That's right. You told me you had thoughts.
So I have thoughts about this. Usually front row is kind of like, eh. But on Incredicoaster, it's actually pretty good.
Because you have a good view of things.
You have a really good view of things. And there's a couple of times where, especially when you're on the drops, you really feel the drop. I don't know what it is, but it felt like you were actually like, well, I think it's probably partly because you're in the front row and you have nothing in front of you. And so you're
mentally here.
Your eyes play tricks on you because it looks like you're dropping. Whereas in the back, you're being pulled down. So you feel more of the forces, but it was actually really good. The one thing that was weird when you did go on the loop-de-loop, they apply brakes on the loop-de-loop.
Okay.
And so we were upside down and I felt the brakes. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah. Are you sure that it just wasn't about to break down?
I hope not. But
because that is like,
that's like my number one fear.
That is my, well, no, but that is my fear on that. Like, there was something, I saw something it was on social media. Was that some state fair or something? Or was it a theme park a couple weeks ago? Did you see this? Where it was one of those rides where like, it was at a fair. It wasn't like or maybe it was like a local theme park. It wasn't like a, Disneyland or anything. But it was one of those rides where it like spins and then it kind of looks like a first thing that came to my mind was a toilet plunger. But there's like a big pole, and then all of the seats are in a circle, and they spin, and then the whole thing goes up, and you go like upside down, and it spins.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
I
like
think so,
everyone
yeah.
is either sitting or standing, like facing each other, and you're spinning, and then the whole thing will like go up in the air and upside down. It got stuck upside down.
Oh my gosh.
So the people were up in the air, hanging upside down.
Oh, that's horrible.
And then they had to like shut off power. They had to evacuate the entire theme park.
Oh my gosh.
And they had, I mean, it wasn't like a huge theme park. Like I said, it was just some like little local one.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, people were taking video, and it was like, you know, the ambulance and fire trucks were all like coming in, and but I'm like, that would be, people were just like screaming and crying up there. I was like, oh my gosh, that would be.
I mean, yeah, because you're upside down, you're probably all blood's rushing to
Oh my
your head.
gosh, you'd be like passing out. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
So
you could feel the brain.
So I felt like a little jolt, like it there, because it purposely slows you down. You don't want to go too fast around it, and so for some reason I felt it a lot more in the front. But then the part at the end where you're going, you know, the up and down,
the laughing part, yes,
and it's like that was like really intense in the front. So I don't know. I haven't been on the front in a very long time.
Yeah.
So it felt a lot different. Also not the greatest to ride right after eating lunch, like a big lunch like that. So I felt pretty sick afterwards.
Oh.
But that's okay. So yeah, and that was the last thing that I did. You know, by then it was, you know, after 12, and I was like, I should probably make my way back. When I got off Incredicoaster, the wait was 65 minutes, and the line was for single rider was up the boardwalk back towards where like the little billboards are.
Yeah.
It was like way back there. It was like all in the sun. I was like, oh, yeah, I would not have waited for that, because it was between that and I posted a story, was like between that and Racers. But I also, thirdly, I was like, I wanted to go on Guardians. But Guardians at that time, I think it was like 35 minutes.
And that there's no single rider.
There's no single rider. So,
yeah.
But
that you should not have done after eating lunch.
No, I'm glad I didn't do that. I felt really sick after that one.
It would not have been good.
But
excuse me. What was I going to say? Oh, it was what day of the week? It was a Thursday, right?
It was a Thursday. And it was pretty busy. But the whole time, Racers wasn't over in an hour. I was there. It was hovering around 50 minutes.
Wow, interesting.
But yeah, if I had to choose between Racers and Incredicoaster, I would choose Incredicoaster.
See, that's the one. If you've ever listened to any of our top rated rides, those are my two. Like I can't.
They're two really good.
And then, you know, Guardians is close up there, but like, I don't know if I can pick between the two. We haven't gone on either of those at night in a very
Racers
long time.
and Incredicoaster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Racers at night is so fun.
Yeah.
And we haven't done that in a long time, because when we have the kids, we always try to rope drop it because we're not paying for it and we don't want to wait an hour and a half. So we rope drop it. And then even when you and I went together, I guess we just didn't want to do single rider. We could have. I don't know. We're doing other things. And then in Incredicoaster, we didn't do at night either. And I don't remember why. But Incredicoaster is like, when it was California Screamin', I wouldn't say there was that big of a difference between day and night. Like, I mean, it's fun at night. It's fun. It's lit up and stuff. But now it's like, there's Violet's force field, and then there's like all the lighting inside of when you go through the tunnels. Like I remember the first time I went on it when it was dark, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that some of these lights were here. Yeah. Because you can't really see it. But it's been a long time since I've been on it at night.
Well, now you can ride Incredicoaster during World of Color.
Right. Yeah.
They recently, I think it was last year that they started doing that. But yeah, that was my trip. And then I walked back to the shuttle. I was back to my car within like 5 minutes. Because there was nobody going back.
Yeah.
During the middle of the day.
Yeah. On that side too, it doesn't seem like they're like on the downtown Disney side. It seems like more people go back to like one of the Disney hotels to do the pool or, restaurants or whatever, where if you're staying in a good neighbor hotel, most likely people aren't going back as much because they're not as like nice of hotels.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's, just a little half day. I only did 1, 2, 3, 4 rides. But there are 4 big rides.
Yeah, I know.
Space Mountain, Mickey and Minnie's, Indiana Jones, and
for
a credit
only
coaster.
being there for a few hours.
Yeah.
And you park hopped.
And I park hopped.
Yeah.
Got a churro, got lunch. Did a little window shopping.
Yeah, you didn't give me any.
No.
I got you something.
Well, that's because you were just there.
I know, but it's not about the item. It's about the thought.
I got you flowers when I got home.
Did I ask for flowers?
No, and you didn't ask for something at Disneyland either.
So when's our next trip?
Maybe February.
Somewhere
or
in February.
should we do November 15th? Should we close down Splash Mountain? Should we open up Tiana's?
I remember we all talked about that when we were there. And be like, should we all meet back here for the first day of Tiana's? Didn't know it would be a year and a half later.
I know.
Crazy.
What day of the week is November 15th? It's probably a Friday. I think they usually open up on a Friday.
Let's see. Yep.
Friday?
Yep.
Yeah, kids got school.
Yeah. Well, and Georgia couldn't ride it. She's close. She's close to 40 inches, but she would not like it.
No,
but,
she would not like it. She's never seen the movie either.
No, but that doesn't really. I don't think you need to see the movie to enjoy the ride.
Well, I was thinking that we would do this be like a combo episode where, this and then 3 tips, but we're already at 52 minutes. So I think we should probably just.
Oh, good, because I totally forgot to think of that. So
look for maybe next week. We'll do our 3 top tips.
Ooh. Yeah. What?
I said next week, and so we'll see if it actually happens next week.
Oh, yeah.
Well, should we keep the ball rolling? Keep this
Maybe
momentum
we will.
going?
Maybe we can. Maybe we should.
So, if you liked listening to the Dreaming of Disney podcast,
what's wrong with you?
ignore my wife's rude comments.
I'm just kidding.
And leave a review. We appreciate it. Make it 5 stars. Make it good. And you can also follow us on Instagram at dreaming.of.disney.podcast.
Maybe we'll see some of that footage you spent an hour shooting.
Maybe you won't.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep it for my own personal enjoyment.
Okay.
But I probably will post something.
All right.
So thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Oh, and we're close to our 1,000 followers.
I think
we're
in a few days.
86. So we're getting up there, about 114 away.
Where am I?
From 1,000.
We're at 888.
Ooh, 112 away from 1,000 followers.
Come on.
We're going to be doing a giveaway. So stay tuned for that. But until next time, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.